The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not directly mandate a landlord to provide electrical service to all rooms in a house. However, several other codes and regulations might indirectly relate to this situation. For instance, the International Property Maintenance Code, or IPMC, which some jurisdictions have adopted, requires habitable rooms to have adequate electrical outlets and lighting. The International Residential Code, or IRC, recommends that habitable rooms have at least one electrical outlet per wall and adequate lighting. Some local building codes may have specific requirements for electrical outlets and lighting, particularly in bathrooms. To address the electrical issue, firstly, review the rental agreement for any provisions related to electrical service. Secondly, contact the local building department or housing authority to inquire about any applicable codes or regulations. Thirdly, document all attempts to contact the landlord about the issue and record their responses. If a landlord refuses to address an electrical issue that poses a potential safety hazard, tenants may have legal options. These options can include withholding rent. In some jurisdictions, tenants are permitted to withhold rent if the landlord fails to maintain habitable living conditions. However, this action should be considered a last resort and only after consulting with a legal professional. Another legal option is to file a complaint with the local housing authority or other relevant authorities. If all other options fail, pursuing legal action might be considered, but it is important to remember that this can be a lengthy and expensive process. It's crucial to recognize that laws and regulations vary by jurisdiction, making it essential to consult with local authorities to obtain the most accurate and relevant information. Regarding electrical systems in general, it's important to understand some fundamental concepts. Electricity flows in a circuit, requiring a complete path from a power source, through a load, and back to the source. This path is typically provided by conductors, usually copper or aluminum wires. These conductors are sized according to the amount of current, measured in amps, that they are expected to carry. The NEC provides tables, such as Table 310.15b16, that specify the ampacity of conductors based on their size, insulation type, and insulation conditions. Overcurrent protection, such as circuit breakers and fuses, is essential for protecting electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. These devices are designed to interrupt the flow of current when it exceeds a safe level, preventing damage to equipment and reducing the risk of fire. Grounding is another critical aspect of electrical safety. Grounding provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, allowing the overcurrent protection device to trip and to energize the circuit. Grounding also helps to reduce the risk of electric shock by providing a reference point for voltage. Electrical outlets, also known as receptacles, are the points where electrical devices are connected to the power supply. The NEC specifies the types of receptacles that are permitted in different locations, as well as the requirements for their installation. For example, ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protection is required for receptacles in bathrooms, kitchens, and other wet locations to protect against electric shock. Lighting is an essential element of any habitable space. The NEC provides requirements for the amount and type of lighting that is required in different areas. For example, emergency lighting is required in certain locations to provide illumination in the event of a power outage. When working with electrical systems, it is essential to follow all safety precautions. Always energize the circuit before working on it and use appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as gloves and eye protection. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician. Electrical codes and standards are constantly evolving to reflect new technologies and best practices. It is important to stay up to date on the latest requirements to ensure the safety and compliance of electrical installations. Remember to consult the latest edition of the NEC and any applicable local codes for the most accurate and up-to-date information. When assessing electrical issues, it is helpful to understand basic electrical parameters. Voltage, measured in volts, is the electrical potential difference that drives current through a circuit. Common voltage levels in residential wiring include 120 volts for lighting and small appliances and 240 volts for large appliances such as electric stoves and dryers. Current, measured in amps, is the rate of flow of electrical charge. The amount of current that a circuit can safely carry depends on the size of the conductors and the rating of the overcurrent protection device. Resistance, measured in ohms, is the opposition to the flow of current. The resistance of a circuit depends on the materials and dimensions of the conductors and the components in the circuit. Power, measured in watts, is the rate at which electrical energy is consumed. Power is calculated by multiplying voltage by current. Understanding these basic electrical parameters can help in troubleshooting electrical problems and ensuring the safe operation of electrical systems. When dealing with electrical issues in a rental property, it's important to communicate effectively with the landlord and document all communications. This documentation can be helpful if legal action becomes necessary. It's also important to be aware of your rights as a tenant and the landlord's responsibilities under local laws and regulations. In many jurisdictions, landlords are required to maintain habitable living conditions, which includes providing adequate electrical service. If the landlord fails to meet these obligations, tenants may have legal recourse. Always consult with a legal professional to understand your rights and options. Electrical safety is paramount, and it's important to address any electrical issues promptly to prevent potential hazards. If you suspect an electrical problem, such as flickering lights, sparking outlets, or a burning smell, turn off the circuit breaker and contact a qualified electrician immediately. Never attempt to repair electrical problems yourself unless you are a qualified electrician. Tampering with electrical wiring can be dangerous and can violate local codes and regulations. Remember, electricity is a powerful force that must be treated with respect. By following safety precautions and adhering to electrical codes and standards, you can help to ensure the safe and reliable operation of electrical systems. Consider the impact of electrical usage on energy consumption and the environment. By using energy-efficient appliances and lighting, you can reduce your carbon footprint and save money on your electricity bill. Many utility companies offer rebates and incentives for energy-efficient upgrades. Take advantage of these programs to improve the energy efficiency of your home or rental property. It is also important to properly dispose of electronic waste such as old light bulbs and batteries. These materials can contain hazardous substances that can pollute the environment if not disposed of properly. Check with your local waste management authority for information on how to recycle or dispose of electronic waste safely. Educating yourself about electrical safety and energy efficiency is an investment in your well-being and the environment. By taking proactive steps to address electrical issues and conserve energy, you can create a safer and more sustainable living environment. When assessing an electrical problem, consider the age and condition of the electrical system. Older electrical systems may not be able to handle the demands of modern appliances and electronics. If the electrical system is outdated or in poor condition, it may be necessary to upgrade it to ensure safety and reliability. Upgrading an electrical system can involve replacing old wiring, installing new circuit breakers, and adding additional outlets. This work should be performed by a qualified electrician. The cost of upgrading an electrical system can vary depending on the scope of the work. However, it is an investment that can pay off in the long run by improving safety and preventing future problems. When planning an electrical upgrade, consider your current and future electrical needs. Think about the types of appliances and electronics you use and the amount of power they require. Also, consider any future additions or renovations that may require additional electrical capacity. By planning ahead, you can ensure that the electrical system is adequate to meet your needs for years to come. In addition to upgrading the electrical system, consider installing surge protection devices to protect your electronic equipment from power surges. Power surges can damage or destroy electronic devices, so it's important to take steps to protect them. Surge protection devices can be installed at the main electrical panel or at individual outlets. These devices divert excess voltage away from the electronic equipment, preventing damage. The cost of surge protection devices is relatively low compared to the cost of replacing damaged electronic equipment. When selecting surge protection devices, look for models that meet industry standards and have a high surge current rating. Also, make sure the devices are properly installed and grounded. Remember, electrical safety is an ongoing process, and it's important to stay vigilant and address any potential hazards promptly. By taking proactive steps to maintain and upgrade your electrical system, you can help to ensure a safe and reliable living environment. If unsure, always consult with a qualified electrician for assistance. The electrical panel, also known as the breaker box or load center, is the heart of the electrical system. It is where the electrical service enters the building and is distributed to the various circuits. The electrical panel contains circuit breakers or fuses that protect each circuit from overloads and short circuits. It's important to label each circuit breaker clearly so that you can easily identify which circuit it controls. This can be helpful when troubleshooting electrical problems or when turning off power to a specific area for repairs. Periodically inspect the electrical panel for any signs of damage, such as rust, corrosion, or loose connections. If you notice any problems, contact a qualified electrician to inspect and repair the panel. Never attempt to repair an electrical panel yourself unless you are a qualified electrician. Working with electrical panels can be dangerous and can result in electric shock or electrocution. When adding new circuits to an electrical panel, it's important to ensure that the panel has enough capacity to handle the additional load. Overloading an electrical panel can cause the circuit breakers to trip frequently and can even lead to a fire. Consult with a qualified electrician to determine the capacity of your electrical panel and to ensure that any new circuits are installed safely and correctly. The NEC provides guidelines for the installation and maintenance of electrical panels. These guidelines are designed to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems. Always follow these guidelines when working with electrical panels. Remember, the electrical panel is a critical component of the electrical system, and it's important to keep it in good condition. By performing regular inspections and addressing any problems promptly, you can help to ensure the safe and reliable operation of your electrical system. Now let's delve into some additional aspects of electrical safety and best practices. Consider the importance of arc fault circuit interrupters or SIs. SIs are designed to protect against electrical fires caused by arcing faults. Arcing faults can occur when there is a breakdown in the insulation of a wire, creating a spark that can ignite nearby combustible materials. SIs are more sensitive than traditional circuit breakers and can detect arcing faults before they cause a fire. The NEC requires SIs in many areas of the home, including bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms. When installing SIs, it's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions and to test them regularly to ensure they are functioning properly. Also, consider the importance of tamper-resistant receptacles or TRR. TRR are designed to prevent children from inserting objects into electrical outlets. TRR have internal shutters that block access to the electrical contacts unless a two-prong plug is inserted. The NEC requires TRR in all new construction and in replacement receptacles in areas where children are likely to be present. When installing TRR, it's important to ensure that they are properly grounded. Also, consider the importance of using the correct type of extension cords. Extension cords are convenient for temporary use, but they should not be used as a substitute for permanent wiring. When using extension cords, make sure they are properly sized for the load they are carrying. Using an undersized extension cord can cause it to overheat and create a fire hazard. Also, avoid running extension cords under rugs or furniture, as this can trap heat and damage the cord. Inspect extension cords regularly for any signs of damage, such as frayed insulation or loose connections. Replace any damaged extension cords immediately. When using electrical appliances, follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Overloading an appliance or using it improperly can create a fire hazard. Also, keep electrical appliances away from water to prevent electric shock. Never use electrical appliances with wet hands. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following these best practices, you can help to create a safer living environment for yourself and your family. If you have any questions or concerns about electrical safety, consult with a qualified electrician. They can provide you with expert advice and help you to identify and address any potential hazards. Furthermore, think about the benefits of smart home technology for electrical management. Smart home technology can help you to control and monitor your electrical usage, improve energy efficiency, and enhance safety. Smart home devices can be used to control lighting, appliances, and heating and cooling systems. These devices can be programmed to turn on and off automatically based on time of day, occupancy, or other factors. Smart home technology can also be used to monitor energy consumption in real time. This information can help you to identify areas where you can save energy and reduce your electricity bill. Some smart home devices can even detect electrical problems such as arcing faults or power surges and alert you to potential hazards. When selecting smart home devices, it's important to choose products that are compatible with your existing electrical system and that meet industry safety standards. Also, make sure the devices are properly installed and configured. Consider the importance of renewable energy sources, such as solar power. Solar power is a clean, sustainable source of energy that can help you to reduce your reliance on fossil fuels and lower your electricity bill. Solar panels can be installed on your roof or in your yard to generate electricity. The electricity generated by solar panels can be used to power your home or business, and any excess electricity can be sold back to the utility company. The cost of solar panels has decreased significantly in recent years, making them a more affordable option for many homeowners. There are also various government incentives and tax credits available to help offset the cost of solar panel installation. When considering solar power, it's important to consult with a qualified solar installer to determine the best system for your needs. The installer can assess your energy consumption, evaluate your site, and recommend the appropriate size and type of solar panels. Remember, electricity is an essential part of modern life, but it's important to use it safely and responsibly. By following these tips and best practices, you can help to create a safer, more efficient, and more sustainable electrical system for your home or business. Always consult with qualified professionals when dealing with electrical work.